So there's a lot of discussions on TikTok right now about this Hulu documentary about Teal Swan. Now, I know nothing about Teal Swan. I'd never heard of her before this had come up. I'm not even sure if I'm going to watch this thing. I don't have experience of her, but I do have experience of Tony Robbins. Now, the reason why I'm bringing up Tony is because I'm seeing a lot of stuff about high control groups and cults that's coming up with this. Now, I'm not saying that either Teal Swan or Tony runs a cult. Absolutely not. But I did want to share my experience of being in, I guess, what would be considered a high control group. And outside probably did look like a cult. In my experience, and I got very heavily involved in Tony's world, his work, for me, absolutely transformed my life. It revolutionized everything. For me, I went from being absolutely miserable in a very senior corporate role in one of the largest banks in the world to basically setting up my own business, traveling the world, living the dream that I'd always wanted to. But in order for me to do that, I needed to go through a process with Tony, which obviously many will consider to be a bit cultish. 100% I can understand why it would look like that from the outside. And there are people who I remember looking at within the community, confused as to why they just kept going back to the events. They kept spending a ridiculous amount of money, having the same training repeated over and over again, which just didn't sit right with me. The thing is, though, there are people in these communities, whether it's Teal Swan's community or Tony's community or any of these kind of, and I don't want to say guru spaces because even they tend to not even call themselves gurus. But within those spaces, there are sharks, charlatans, and shysters surrounding these people who are there to dupe, make money, take advantage of people who are there for whoever the kind of the lead act is on stage, if you like. And that's something that I found so incredibly distasteful. And luckily, I have a very healthy sense of skepticism about people. So I was able to bat them away and not lose my money to a bunch of people that just really were just only there for cash. I've got to do this in a couple of parts, I think, because I'm running out of time. But yeah, interesting stuff.